on here. Good morning, bro.
Morning, brother. How are you?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
No, not too bad. Not too bad. It's just a bit quiet today, so yeah, being a bit lazy.
Little quiet. What did you this morning? Did
Yeah,
you trade EuroCAD or Euro AUD?
Eurocad. I had Eurocad. I got a quick scalp 1 hour on it.
Nice. Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
right now the news came in for CAD. It actually came out better than forecast. Let me share my screen. Came out
Okay.
better than forecast. A little bit. Point
Okay.
two versus point one.
So it should maybe come down a bit then. But yep.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. The divergent structure.
Yep.
Yeah. I had a nice 1 minute entry around what time around was it? Was around. Let me just have a look here. It was around 9:36 my time, so 3:36 in the morning your time. So pretty early.
Right here as it was breaking out off this big bar, off the 50, right in here.
Yeah.
It popped up and then came
Yep,
right
that's the
back
one.
down.
Popped up. Yeah, I just got a quick pop. It wasn't really I wasn't expecting much from it just because I was inside the Asian range and divergent. We know those aren't great setups. But yeah, I got my quick 1 hour and I took that.
Do you find that whenever you see a setup in the Asian range with divergence, you're always grading it a C setup too?
Oh yeah, 100%. There's two knocks there. And also to be honest, most of the times I'm actually not really trading it.
No.
It just can be very choppy inside the Asian range and divergent. Actually can sometimes signal a D2, for the opposite direction.
Yep. We had some questions. Let's go over to CHFJPY. I want your take on this. We had some questions on
Okay.
this. So I guess the summary of it would be you've got bullish divergence on the bottom that is not oversold. Okay. So the RSI is not
Yeah.
oversold, but it's got this bullish divergence. So some people were looking at this when it breaks the 50 here and they were looking to buy this. Now, we already kind of broke down if you went to do this, the the risk reward here was not even 1R to the 200 EMA.
Yeah.
So that would be the first thing that
Sure.
I don't like about it. But more important than that, I look at this with this perfect market sentiment line, and I feel like you should be looking to sell it off the 50 or the 200, sell it towards the divergence line. Don't you agree? How do you see this?
Yeah, I agree 100%. Also, it's kind of tough to trade that as a D2 because it's the first break of the 50, so that's always going to be tough. I mean, you're trading it as a D2 if you're taking it as that big bar as your entry, it's the first break of the 50 EMA on the 15-minute chart. So that is always tough to, trade because that we know that's where we can get our D1s into A1s to come
Exactly.
back down as it looks like it did exactly there.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how I see it too. Now that's why I like the second break of the 50 because then the second break of the
Yep.
50 to me means okay, we're going through the 50 again. Now it wants to move higher or move lower. So like for GU, would
Yep.
you look at this and call this more like a D2?
Uh, for longs, right? Yep.
Yeah, for longs
That
because
could.
if you take off the other EMAs, right? Let's just take them off because they're
Yep.
not as clean. If you just go like this, get rid of the 200 and the 800, doesn't it look like a second break of the 50 now? You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yep. 100%. It does look like it can move higher. I just remember. I remember I drew that 50 minutes. There's very small 15-minute divergence in there. I know it's not strong, also not from overbought, but coming in over there, slight divergence. Yep, that's it there.
Now we're being real technical. Yeah,
Yeah,
like that.
so it's just this has been nothing really too clean. Yeah, GU definitely looks like, as you say, like that. If you were looking to trade as a D2, that's the second break of the 50. That would be, the one that you would probably more likely to want to take than a first break of the 50. As you don't know, lots of the times that first break of the 50 hits the 50, looks like it's building up some steam, and then it just comes right back down. So
That's exactly what CHFJPY did if you look at CHFJPY. It looked like it was picking up momentum with this big bar through the 50. It would make you think, okay, this can rise. But in reality, this was just a pullback because look, if you zoom out, what is this doing from here?
yep, it's making lower highs.
It comes right,
Yep.
like if you use these 2 points to draw your trend line, it comes right to that trend line right there. You see that?
100%. Yep.
Yeah. So
100%.
I think that's where staying with the L50 bias is the key. You know what I mean? Staying with that
Yeah.
L50
Yeah.
bias is the key. And even
Yeah.
for you,
I'm not actually trading D2s at the moment. I'm just trading in-train A1 and D1s,
I
to
didn't
be
know
honest.
that. Okay, good to know. I
Yeah.
know that you're really
Yeah.
focused on the D1s, but yeah. Here, and this
Yep.
is another part of this example that I think we have to touch on. This is now we're looking at EuroCAD right now. Here,
Yep.
someone just said, if divergence isn't overbought or oversold, would you still class it as a knock? Yes. Don't say it's a
Yes.
small knock. It's still a knock. It's just a divergence is always a knock. Here, this is not
Yeah.
overbought or oversold. Look at the RSI. No overbought. What does it do? It comes right to the divergence line
Right
and
back.
falls away from it.
It falls. Yeah.
It happens all the time. And again, look at Euro JPY. Go back to Monday. Not oversold. Here, see it rising.
Just hit the divergence.
Just hits
right
the
back
divergence
up.
and bounces. It did the same thing here on Tuesday. Not overbought on the top. It's not overbought. It's close, but it's not overbought. What does it do on that third hit? Hits it and falls away from it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's weird how the technicals, we don't just make it up.
But at some point, this is why people ask the question. People will say, well, then look at a day like today and look at how it's gone through the divergence line. Yes, it did go through the divergence line today.
But it's still divergence.
It's still divergent. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's still divergent. So you have to knock it no matter what. And then where I think it becomes like an important conversation is, can you get 2-to-1 to the divergence line? Like, for example, the CHF JPY, if you were looking to buy this, like I said, to the 200 EMA, if I put that back on, to the 200 EMA, that was only it was less than 1 R. It was like 0.8 R. You know what I mean? So that wouldn't be worth it. But then
I think this is a good.
Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. Also,
no, you're good.
I think this is a good one to talk about divergence, because this came up in one of my coaching calls that I had last night with one of the guys that I coach. So if you go to GCHF yesterday, right before it fell off quite heavily. So if you look there off the 50 there later on in the day during the New York session. Yep, over there. Yeah, so there was 1 minute divergence in there, and the guy that I was coaching was looking to take that as a D1 into that shift candle. As you can see, that shift candle, and then it literally just popped a little bit and came right back down. But if you look there's actually 15-minute divergence, 15-minute divergence there at the half day. Yep, that's it there. And he was involved in the trade, but I told him that you're only getting like 0.8 R, I think it was, to that divergence structure. So there's no point in taking the trade when 100%. You're not getting even 1 R to the divergence structure. So there's no point. So I said to him that it better going forward that you rather avoid trades like that and rather trade where there's more room to the divergence structure, like EJ that we showed earlier. There was room to that divergence structure. Yes, it hit the divergence structure and bounced higher, but there was still like 2 R to that divergence structure. So it
like
made
this
more
one.
sense.
Yeah, like this one on CHF JPY, it's 2.3 R. Yeah, like this
2.3 R.
Yeah, this is 2.3 R to the divergence line. That's good. And that divergence line is drawn way back here. Like, it's drawn way earlier. So it's not like we're just drawing this in hindsight. It's drawn from 2:15 this morning. Like, that's where we're getting the reaction
100%.
points. So, and then same thing.
What was that?
Look at EuroCAD too. Sorry to cut you off, but look
to that divergence. Yeah.
This
to the
EuroCAD
divergence structure and just bounces it.
Yeah, same. So like here, if you were buying EuroCAD, some people will fall in love with the perfect L50. They'll fall in love with the EMAs. Of course, we're getting pushed down right now based on news, but they will ignore this divergence and they won't take profit here, even though they're almost at 2R. So this is where I think you have to still draw divergence, even though this is not overbought. You still have to draw it. And then knowing that news is coming in, right? You would be, like, if we add some notes here, it goes 1.8 R before news. So you have, I would write it like high impact CAD news coming at 8:30.
Yep.
And it reached the divergence level before.
So you'll be taking off.
So you should be taking off and locking the stop for sure. And if you don't, you're just being greedy, right?
Yeah, 100%. You can't expect that to run, where there's that divergent structure out there.
Right.
I think there was a pair that you were showing about, where it's still divergent, although the price action broke lower. I don't know which pair it was. Was it there? That one. What is that? EJ. Yep. So the reason, I think I also get asked this question a lot with the coaching calls, is that if you look at the price action breaks lower, but the RSI does not. That means that it's the divergence is still present, because for the divergence to be broken, the price action and the RSI both have to move lower for it to be broken, and it does not. So that's why it's still divergent.
Yep. So you could really redraw it like this if you wanted to now.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, you could. Yep.
Cool. What else have you traded this week? Have you had any other good notes, any other good trades that you want to share with us?
I think it was GCAD, on Monday. Monday with that little pop as well. I got like, yep, that's it there. I got like 1.4R or something like that.
Right here through the
Yeah,
I think I
that's the
actually
one.
I
Yeah.
have this marked up for you. I wanted to pull this up. Hold on. Yep.
Yep, that's the one.
Okay, so you want to walk us through here? I have the 15-minute and I have the 1 minute. I can cycle between them.
Sure. So yeah, obviously looking at the 50-minute, if I remember correctly, and looking by the chart here, the only knock I had was that swapping liquid 50. And the reason, as we spoke, I think 2 weeks ago or so on the live stream, was the reason why I think that it dips down is because look at that hard pullback towards the end of the Asian session. It just pulls hard. So that pulls that L50. Look how it delays the L50, it pulls back into the sell zone. So I only had, I had it as a B setup with the swap in liquid 50 being the only knock. And then basically, once I waited for that upshift, we can't call it a shift candle because with our system, the L50 has to be in the correct zone when we're waiting for that shift. That's why I just call it the 15-minute shift. It shifts up, and then I got back in with good risk reward ratio on the 1 minute when it was making that higher low. And that's why I got, yep, that's the exact candle that I got in and literally instantly into profit. I actually ended up adding on the retest there on that second break of the 50, that candle, yep, where it comes back through the 50, that I added another piece in. So I actually ended up getting quite good. That was quite a good trade for me.
Good. And I like that you have started to do some of these trades where even though the market sentiment line is not proper at the entry, you know it has to get into the proper zone. So it's almost like you could get out of it very quickly if it doesn't. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If this RSI
100%.
held the market sentiment line in the sell zone, you would have bailed on this very quickly. So here, it pulls up into the buy zone, it holds the buy zone, and then as you can see, once the trade starts to head back towards your stop loss and profit, then it starts to pull the market sentiment line down into the sell zone. Yeah. Good.
Yep. And I think there was actually news that came out, to be honest, where it was at that high and actually ended up getting out the whole trade because there was
probably because that's like
I think there was CAD news coming
it's
out.
probably like 8:30, 8 o'clock. So probably.
Yep.
Go back and look.
Yeah. What news was it?
On Monday? No, it doesn't look like there was
maybe nothing, huh? Okay. Wow.
Yeah, Monday was the 13th.
Maybe
right?
Monday the 13th. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe I think maybe it was instinctively I just pulled the whole trade there at that where it was struggling.
I've noticed that like a lot of your trades that you'll trade from the 200 up through the 50, and I've said this to you before, but I just want to keep saying it. They normally, when you're trading from the 200 through the 50, this pop will not go for a new high of day and run.
Yeah.
It'll pop, maybe pull back, maybe come lower, or maybe pull back and then come higher as the day goes on. It's very rare that you get the 200 and then it just runs. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yep. I agree. Yeah, but it's normally like it's like making obviously if we're trading, if it's like coming lower highs and if you're going higher lows.
Yep.
So it's definitely that market. Look at that market structure. It makes lower highs and then ends up coming down. I think especially with those type of trades especially with my back testing and my experience with them, you just got to take what it gives you. If it gives you 1 hour, take the trade. Like be out most of the trade. To be honest, I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking profits and seeing what develops after that. I mean. That's just my experience with it.
Do you get a lot of people talking shit on that because they think that you shouldn't be taking profits at 1 hour? Do people like try to fight you on that often?
I do, yeah, but they don't know what position size that we're trading, so.
That's what I'm saying. There used to be a video of this guy that his YouTube account is called UK Spread Betting. Do you know who that is?
I don't. I can't say I do.
He like had a bunch of interviews with traders on the channel, and one of the guys was like, I only go for 7 to 10 pips on every trade, and I'm risking like 4. He's like, you don't know how big my lot sizes are, so why do you think I need 50 pips? If I can go in and get consistent 7 to 10 pips, why do I need to do more 100%. Than that? It's just making math work 100%. In your favor, you know?
Oh yeah, it's easier to make 10 pips than it is to make 100 pips. And the thing is, like, I only realized that when I started to trade bigger sizes. Of course. That like when you up 10 pips, sometimes you up $4,000. I mean, and then it's just only ever going to get bigger as you get better. And then it's those small, consistent wins all add up. I mean, you know, you're not going to be upset one day when you're taking $5,000 on a trade and then, okay, cool, on to the next. I'm pretty sure most people would be pretty stoked with that.
100%. Do you have any big lessons from the week? I know, so you've got 2 trades, GCAD, ECAD. Any major lessons that stand out to you? Any major takeaways?
I think for me, to be honest, is keeping yourself busy at the desk. Like, yeah, for me, it's just been trying to keep busy at the desk. Hasn't been too much today or yesterday. Monday was pretty hot. But yeah, today and yesterday, it just hasn't been great. So I think, just keeping yourself busy, maybe listening to an Audible book, something like that. That's been what I've been doing. I've been listening to my new Tim Grover book, while at the desk, Relentless. So yeah, just keeping yourself busy. And
Good.
also, we've been doing a couple of live calls with my other mates from the States, and like Felipe and Michael, and then my mates from South Africa, like Brogan. So just keeping yourself busy at the desk. It's good to have that like kind of community.
100%. I was going to say, I feel like a lot of the discipline that you're able to keep, because like some weeks like this where there's not a lot of great trades, people will take unnecessary small losses. And this was I filmed a video with Jerome last night talking about this exact problem. Yeah, it'll be a really good video because he breaks it down with the back testing spreadsheet. Cool. So he shows you.
Oh, with the back.
Yeah, like he explains why you need to be more selective and how to be more selective. And what that will do to your win rate and to your percentage of gain. So we talk about it, but then we also back it up because it's easy for you and me to sit here and be like, yeah, be more selective. But it's way harder to be selective while you're actually trading. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
But and to know why and to know the reasoning why,
I love this saying because men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. So that's cool that you'll have, the back.
I love that. Yeah. I think for me, one of the big takeaways from this week, though, is really sticking to what I trade best. Like you've really showed me a lot about these trades coming off the 200, coming through the 50. So I feel like I'm getting better at those. But I feel like where people take unnecessary losses is if they're just stretching themselves into, like I said, trades that they don't have an edge in. So yeah, I think maybe one piece of advice we can always give to people is if you're not trading, but you're still following rules and maybe something just hasn't lined up for you yet, don't beat yourself up over that. That's going to happen to you multiple times. There's going to be weeks where you don't take a trade, especially when you're newer. When you're just learning, you have to accept those weeks because I think you have to remember you'd rather be not trading than you'd rather be losing, right? Is that the right way to say it? I'd rather not trade than lose. I'd rather sit flat than lose.
I think there was a saying that maybe Steve Burns or something that said, I'd rather be out a trade wishing I was in than in a trade wishing I was out. Something like that.
That's it. That's beautiful too. I love that. Yep. Steve's always got some fire tweets, bro. You just pull up his Twitter account and it's fire.
100%. I go through that on the daily.
Well, are you trading tomorrow and Friday? You're going to finish the week out strong?
Yeah, I'll be 100%.
Okay. Yeah, so this will be the only stream of the week. I'll be back. We'll stream on Monday or Tuesday again of next week, but this is the only stream of the week for me.
Yeah, you got the seminar coming up, yep.
Yeah, seminar on Friday. Very excited for that.
Nice. Where is it? Is it close to where you live or is it?
It's like 15 minutes from my house. Yeah, downtown Tampa's not far. Yeah.
Oh, downtown Tampa. Okay, cool, nice.
Yep,
I know a couple of one of the guys that I've got is going to the seminar. So
yeah.
Cool.
Tim, it'll be good.
Yeah.
Tim is one of the guys coming. We've got, I think, 10 people total for the full day, and then I've got like 5 or 6 guys coming to the dinner that night. Where we got like the event goes from like 9:30. We'll start 9 o'clock till 5. Yep. 4 or 5. I give everybody like an hour to go get changed or go do whatever. And then the dinner is at the same place, basically. It's like this huge conference center. It's got 2 restaurants in it. So it's super easy. You know what I mean? So when you come to the States, if we want to do our meetup here, I got plenty of spots that we can do it here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you've got some. The last seminar you had, that spot was also pretty cool in Miami, right?
Miami was dope. Yeah. And I'm thinking like for next year, I want to maybe do a 2-day event where we trade one day together, like a Friday, and then the event continues on Saturday. You know what I mean? And like we could do a dinner, like a VIP thing on Friday night kind of thing. It could be fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I'm sure lots of people would love to do that.
Yeah. So going into the rest of the day, what are you keeping your eye on? Anything specific?
I've just been watching EA, and literally the most that I was watching was obviously GU with you, then EN, ECAD, and EA. I was watching those 3, but other than that, nothing really much catching my eye, to be honest.
GU looks like reset now to me. Now it's like the EMAs are coming together more on the 15-minute here. It can't decide if it wants to go up or down. It looks more indecisive than ever.
Also, what's the DXY doing? The DXY is coming up, so that could bring GU down.
Right.
Yeah. So obviously we don't know, but I know the DXY does look like it's pushing up on the 1 minute. I'm on the 1 minute here at the moment. Looks like it's at that 1 minute 800, which is the 50-minute 50, but it does look like it's moving higher.
Randy said, we got to get you at a seminar, James. I said, as soon as we can travel, we're making that happen,
Yep.
Randy. I promise.
100%. I'm looking definitely to come next year to the States with Amanda. So yeah, 100%. We got to meet up in person.
I know, bro. It'd be epic.
2 years now, bro. It's been
I
almost 2
know.
years now.
It feels like I know you, you know what I mean? Like that in person, but it's
Yeah.
crazy that we haven't met in person yet.
Exactly. Yep. It feels like I've known you for more than that and met each other already, but we got to do it in person.
For sure, bro. But I appreciate you coming on this morning. I'm sure everybody else does. Everybody hit the thumbs up if you appreciate James. Thank him for his time. Make sure you guys send him a message on Instagram, on Discord, connect with him, and we'll do it again next week, James. I'll bring you on next week, and we'll see where the trading is at then.
100%. Yeah, it's been a bit slow, but 100%. Thanks for having me, Austin. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, bro.
Cheers.
It's always good to hear from James, right, everybody? Love that.